Yesterday we were talking about scientific notation, and we're going to continue our work with that. So with scientific notation, we need to think about if I have a really small number or a really big number that I want to rewrite in scientific notation to better understand about that number or to easily talk about that number, I need to think how many places do I need to move my decimal point? So when your number is greater than 10, the decimal has to move left. So if we think about our decimal is going to be at the end of our number, and we need to get our number to be, when we're writing in scientific notation, we have a number times 10 to a number to the power of a number. This number right here needs to be between 1 through 10. In that number right there can either be positive or negative. Our power can be either positive or negative. So we need to get our number in front of the times 10 to whatever to be between 1 and 10. So if I look at my number here, I have 600. How can I get that to be a number between 0 and 10? Well, if I move my decimal place over 1, I would have 60. That's not between 1 and 10. I move my decimal place over 2 times, and then I have the number 6. So I know that I have my number now that's between 1 and 10 like I need for scientific notation. So right here I would have 6 times 10, and the number that goes to the power, 10 to the power, is going to be how many times you move your decimal place. I move my decimal place over 2 times to the left, so I'm going to have a positive 2. If you move left, it's going to be positive. Move right, I bet you could assume that it's going to be negative. So if we think about this, this is another way to write 6 times 10 times 10. Let's think about 6 times 10. That's 60. 60 times 10 is 600. So we know we can check our work to make sure it's correct. Now, if we look right here, when our number is smaller than 1, the decimal has to move to the right. So if I keep moving my decimal to the left, I'm going to keep getting a small, teeny, tiny number. So I know that if I move my decimal place to the right, if I move it over 1, let's see. Oh, my number is still not going to be between 1 and 5, or 1 and 10, sorry. If I move over one more, nope, I would have 0.05. That's not between 1 and 10. Right here I have 0.5. Careful. You might want to put your decimal place there and leave it there. But is 0.5 between 1 and 10? No, it's not. So we need to keep going. And right here, we end right here and we have the number 5. 5 is between 1 and 10, so that's what we're going to write right here. So 5 times 10, let's think about we move to the right. Our number is small, so we know that we have to the negative 4th power. We move right, it's a negative. Move left, we have a positive in that power spot. Think about when we were talking about our negative exponents, we were talking that our negative exponents, we flip them into the reciprocal. So we would really have 5 times 1/10, times 1/10, times 1/10, times 1/10. And if you think about 1/10 of a number times another 10th of that number, that's going to make your number small. So that helps us think about that we have a negative exponent because we have a small number. Let me know if you have any questions.